This woman had just married into a wealthy family but became a widow. On the day of the wedding, the billionaire was murdered. The woman inherited a fortune of tens of billions, but she was unhappy. She spent all day missing the wealthy man. At her husband's funeral, she couldn't hide her sadness, but on the surface, she had to appear strong. Mike's company needed her to participate in management, but what she never expected was that, when she arrived at the company, she received a call from a stranger. The other party started with one sentence, "I'm Mike, and I'm still alive." Annie was completely stunned. She had seen her husband's funeral with her own eyes. Moreover, the voice on the phone was different from Mike's. Thinking about it, she assumed it was just a prank, but she didn't know that. At that moment, Mike was trying to figure out the truth. His consciousness was attached to the body of a dead prisoner, and he could completely control the body, as if he had been reborn. But now there was a problem due to his identity. He had to find a way to return to his country. Before leaving, he saw the news in the newspaper. It was all negative reports about Annie. When Mike returned to his hometown, he first found his best friend and revealed his identity, but his friend didn't believe him at all. Mike told him about the events they had experienced, including the secret between the two men. Seeing this, his friend let down his guard and finally believed that this young man was Mike. He had just convinced his friend when the TV broadcast. The host openly mocked Annie, questioning whether she married a rich man for money. Looking at the host's disgusting face, although Annie was very angry, she couldn't do anything about it. However, this move angered Mike. He wouldn't allow anyone to bully Annie. He then found the reporter alone and asked him what right he had to say such things. He pinned him against the car and lectured him. Annie soon heard the news. Although she didn't know who was helping her, she couldn't help but feel happy. However, she encountered Jack again. He had long wanted to make Annie his own. At this moment, Annie felt very helpless, but in fact, she was still thinking about Mike. Just then, Mike's friend called. He said that due to the current situation, he wanted to introduce a new driver to Anne. He had a reliable candidate in mind. This way, Anne would be protected. And as a friend, he could rest assured, and didn't think much of it, and readily agreed. They arranged for an interview at the mansion the next day. At this point, Mike couldn't reveal his identity, first of all, and Mike not believe him. Second, he had to find out the truth about his own murder. After making sufficient preparations, Mike arrived at the mansion feeling uneasy. Just then, Annie came down the stairs, looking at the woman he loved deeply. Mike couldn't stay calm, but he quickly recovered. Annie trusted Mike's friend and didn't ask too many questions. She asked him to come to the mansion to work immediately. After Mike left, Annie had a complicated expression on her face. She had a familiar feeling about this man.